Have you ever thought about this? One of the most powerful empires in the world didn't fall because of swords or invasions. It fell because its money collapsed. And do you know the scary part? The same mistake is being repeated today. Most of us explain the fall of Rome with barbarian raids, collapsing legions, or intrigue-filled palaces. But what often sets an empire on the path to ruin isn't an external attack. It's the silent internal economic decay. Rome is one of the clearest examples. Sosthenes, the lessons it left behind are still ignored by today's economies. The backbone of Rome's economy, the denarius. For centuries, the heart of Rome's economy was the silver denarius. First minted in 211 BC, this coin was almost pure silver. Soldiers were paid with it, merchants demanded it, and ordinary people stored their wealth in it. In short, the denarius was more than metal. It was trust in Rome made tangible. Costs, slowly devouring the empire. But running the largest armies in the world and managing a vast empire was not easy. Constant wars, expansion, infrastructure projects. State expenses soared while tax revenues could not keep pace. And Rome's leaders resorted to a method used countless times in history, secretly devaluing the currency. Debasement, the oldest economic trick. Raising taxes would anger the people, so emperors chose another path. They began reducing the silver content of the denarius. Under Augustus, the coin was about 95% silver. By Caracalla's reign, it dropped to around 50%. By Gallienus's time, it had fallen below 5%. A coin once made of solid silver had become a thinly silver-coated bronze disc. When the people noticed, a domino effect swept through the economy. Consequences of losing value. Prices skyrocketed. Merchants refused to accept coins with low silver content. Soldiers demanded payment in land and food instead of worthless coins. Local trade shifted to direct barter. When money loses its reliability, the foundation of the economy collapses. The crisis of the 3rd century. Between 235 and 284 AD, the period became known as the crisis of the 3rd century. For nearly 50 years, civil wars, invasions, plagues, and most importantly, economic collapse followed one another. Emperors were deposed or assassinated within months. But behind all the visible chaos, there was an invisible cause. Money was no longer real money. Diocletian's desperate attempt. In 301 AD, Diocletian did what any empire in desperation might try. He fixed prices for every good and service by decree. It became history's most famous price control, and a total disaster. When money is worthless, you cannot fix prices by law. The black market exploded and official trade nearly collapsed. The new coin, solidus. Constantine finally abandoned the now useless denarius and introduced the new gold coin, the solidus. This coin brought stability to Byzantium for centuries, but for Western Rome it was already too late. Economic collapse had paved the way for political collapse. The shadow over today. We're not just telling history for fun. The modern version of Rome's mistake is happening in many countries today. In the 1920s Germany, the government printed money to cover debts. People ended up carrying banknotes in wheelbarrows just to buy bread. In the 2000s, Zimbabwe printed money without limit. Inflation reached an incomprehensible 89.7 sextillion %, and in today's world, fiat currency, paper money that only works because people trust it, is under increasing pressure. We no longer need to melt metal to create money. With a few digital clicks, trillions can appear. What this means for us. The lesson is simple. Inflation is often not a mistake. It's policy. It's how governments invisibly pass the burden of debt on to the people. Real wealth isn't in paper. It's in tangible assets. Productive skills, land, businesses, resources, even trust built with the right people. No economic system is too big to fail. If Rome could collapse, the modern world is not immune. Rome didn't fall in a single day. As money lost value, trust eroded. As trust eroded, the empire crumbled. Today, we see the same story unfolding in different countries, on different scales, with the same outcomes. If we don't understand how money works, history will not forgive us. Because one of the harshest truths of history is this: empires aren't destroyed by barbarians, they're destroyed by bad money. If this video gave you a new perspective, don't forget to subscribe and share. History tells us what's coming, if only we listen.